After I completed the academy, I started working through my first business and was noticing that the messaging that I was using was attracting people that weren't ready to invest in themselves. So when I shifted that business to focus more on mindset and knowing that I wanted to get into the corporate space, the first person I thought that I wanted to work with was Matthew, because his program was so incredible and I just knew that I needed the next level of support. And so that's where I knew I needed to work with him one-on-one. After talking with him about my current frustrations with getting certain clients in this space, he was like, you're going after the wrong niche. The niche that you need is a corporate niche, because then you could do corporate trainings where they are not the ones that have to invest anymore. Now they're just putting in the time, their business is investing in it. But now you need to learn how to convince the business that your program is what's going to make a big difference for their company. And having never worked in the corporate space, learning how to speak in corporate speech, to be able to talk to specific metrics that they would really care about, to talk to the ROI metrics that they needed to hear, I really needed a lot of guidance in that space. And Matthew just made it seem so much more simple. He really made it easy to understand and helped me really understand this new niche. So that way I could go out and be very confident pitching my services to them. How to speak in a language that really resonates with the people that I was trying to connect with, how to network with them without feeling uncomfortable or awkward, and then also how to create a irresistible offer that these corporations would just be chomping at the bit to get at, between helping me rewrite a core blog post, helping me decide my keynote speaker notes and the different kinds of speeches that I would have that would really resonate with this audience was so incredible. He just was given such great guidance every step of the way. So that way I felt really confident to start putting this out there. So after I finished working with Matthew, we were just moving into the beginning of 2020, and I had reached out to a couple of different organizations to start arranging some in-person training, to do a couple of keynote speeches for them, and then the pandemic hit. And they're just like, oh, I don't know, like, are you comfortable with being online? And I was like, oh, friend, I've got you. So then we did transition right away to being online. I hosted a number of Zoom meetings for them, lots of training with some follow-up training like Matthew had guided me to do. And I started off with just 3 businesses that I had been networking with, and through word of mouth, they have now gotten me a number of clients that happened over that pandemic space. So even though 2020 has been a difficult year for a number of people, it has been my most profitable year yet. My revenue grew to about 50,000 that year. And then after that, I have more than tripled it this year. Working with Matthew one-on-one was a completely transformative experience. Every time I met with him, I learned so much more about business, so much more about my business, more than I ever could have imagined. And he just kept bringing up new marketing channels, new messaging methods, new ways for me to really break through this market and to really stand out and to know how to become in a blue ocean instead of a red ocean. So before I started working with Matthew, I felt really quiet, really uncomfortable with sharing my true self. I felt not very confident. And when somebody would ask me, what do you do? I would always say, oh, I'm a registered nurse and I'm trying to do this thing online. I wouldn't be able to say that with confidence. And after I completed the Rapid Growth Academy, I started to see how my identity was shifting into this online business owner. And then after working with Matthew with the intensive, everything changed. I feel like now when someone asks you, what do I do? When someone asks me, what do I do? I say, oh, I do corporate consulting and help people manage their stress. And I do this online as a business owner. I talk about my small business all the time without worrying about like, ooh, what are people going to think? I feel like this is what I was meant to be. This is the job. This is the career I was meant to be in. And Matthew helped unlock that confidence to make it possible for me.